Hello, welcome to Family. We've got your back. So we're doing better.
Yeah.
We, yeah, I had some experiences that were really kind of special for me, and I really feel quite a bit better. And when you're brave, the benefits, you can't really understand the consequences of bravery, and sometimes they really turn out well. And so, although we have not spoken, they have not come to us to apologize, and we even though we've reached out, we've done our part. So even though that issue is unresolved on their end, we've done everything we can. And being, I guess the word meek, although I in the moment wasn't. Usually meek implies doormattiness to me, like letting people just treat you bad and you're like, okay, whatever, and taking it. And I'm like, no, that's not me. I've discovered a new definition for meekness, and it's gentle and self-control. And so that's a definition I can embrace, and that's the lesson that I am learning from this, is that no matter how people treat me, I need to act appropriately and not react. So good things have come from this hard thing. And if you're having difficulties in your life, if you try to turn them into good and act appropriately no matter what, good things can come from your difficulties as well.
And not only can, but they will.
They will,
They will, because you'll have learned, you'll have grown, and you'll be a better person because of the affliction, whatever it was.
Yeah. And also this week we've had our kids home, and Trent was supposed to have afternoons off all week, but that's not what happened.
It's not what happened.
But he has today off, and so because it's National Donut Day, we went to Winco and got 25-cent donuts. Right on. So
yeah.
I had a donut for lunch, and
we don't recommend it.
I don't recommend that. A cream-filled donut for lunch is not exactly...
I'm going to have some lunch first.
Yeah, he had lunch first and then his donut. I had my donut first because I was starving, and that was just dumb. It was not a pleasant experience. So... don't eat a donut on an empty stomach. A cream-filled donut on an empty stomach, yeah.
So today's theme, of course, is summer tips. Summer tip number 1,
don't eat donuts
for lunch.
That should be the title. Don't eat donuts for lunch. Okay, so
bless you.
Our first tip is have a schedule. And we're not saying schedule every moment of your kid's life, right? Or your life, or whatever. The reason we're saying summer tips is because often summer changes for everybody in the household. Often. Especially if you have children or if you're a college student, summer changes up your life. Summer changes your schedule, right?
Yeah.
And so being aware of that and facing it head on and getting ahead of it, right, can make your summer fabulous for you. And instead of just what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. And you do nothing, right? So kind of plan out your day. For us, it's kind of a loose schedule in that, responsibilities first, no tech before lunch, afternoon, no tech
do
until
any
the
cleaning,
afternoon.
doing any, we'll get into the other things that we do.
So, things you have to do those in the morning. For us, because otherwise they don't get done. And then you can hang out in the afternoon once your responsibilities are taken care of. For us, it'll be exercise, practice your instrument, JD, because his schedule is so full during the school year, he didn't have room, because he's taking 2 AP classes as a freshman. I know, smart kid, right? And advanced math. And so he didn't have time for health class because he's also in percussion, right? So, and those are like year-long classes. And so he's just going to do his health class over the summer, which, you know.
Why not?
Why not? Because you don't need to be in class to learn these health concepts, right?
Don't do drugs, and eat well, and what else?
I don't want to even find. I don't know. My plate. I don't know. Instead of food pyramid, there's a pyramid of food. Anyway, that's a quote from a book. Anyway.
Oh, I thought it was like a comedian.
No.
Are you sure it's not? Like
Fable
Gaffigan?
Haven.
Oh.
And the satyrs find out there's a food pyramid.
Right.
Instead of just tacos and
that's right.
Salty fat and sweet fat. They're like, there's a pyramid of food. I need to meet this genius. Anyway, okay. So get those important things done. So summer school for JD. For Adam, it'll be different because he's getting a job, hopefully. And so his schedule will be same rule. No internet,
right.
No messing around on your
But that will take up some of his time.
That will take up his time too. And so, but the same rule, no goofing around until your responsibilities are done. And do something to improve yourself, like reading. You have to read for an hour before you play on your tech. Right, so that's our basic schedule is do all these things first, and then you can play. For a lot of people, it's more general. For a lot of people, it's more specific, because vacations happen. Some people have a weekly schedule, and this week we're doing this week we're doing this. We're going on vacation at this time. Every year, third week of July, we have a family reunion. Third Saturday in July. We always have a family reunion every year that weekend. Yeah. Which happens to be my mother-in-law's birthday and my birthday weekend as well. And so it's like, so that's, my birthday is taken up with this family reunion. And, which we need to, anyway. I know. And, and so plan out that type of schedule as well. It's like, okay, when can we go on vacation? Because you have this camp and you have that camp and and so schedule time as a family to get away from your basic everyday life. If you have kids, if you're, single, then plan something fun for you to do over your summer break. If you have a summer break or whatever, just enjoy your summer and schedule it so it's not like that it won't happen. Right. We've discovered that if you don't put it on the calendar, it typically gets overlooked and pushed. Yeah. We've tried to schedule vacations, like an anniversary trip for us for 25 years, and it just, let's just say, always falls apart. Yep. And so most years we're like, whatever, we're not scheduling anything. But, right? But anyway, so, and happy anniversary, Doran and Tanya. Yeah. We look up to you and you guys are awesome. So have fun celebrating your anniversary this week. Anyway, also, just schedule, be aware of the opportunities and make sure that they make it onto your schedule so that you can take advantage of those opportunities. Have access to those opportunities. Yeah. Okay, so that also includes these special projects. Whoa. Oh gosh. Okay. That was weird. For example, apparently I have no fingertips. There we go. That's weird. For example, cleaning out the garage. Or learning to play the piano. Or learning to paint like we did. We should show you our pictures. Let's just say I had to flip my canvas upside down, and his turned out much better.
And special projects could go into things that you want the kids to,
if you have kids.
Yeah, or whatever, right?
Or Nana camp, or
there's so many different camps going on this summer because.
Well, no, you know what Nana camp is.
Nope.
All the grandkids come to Grandma's house that are above a certain age, and Grandma has all these projects and fun activities and then and the parents get to go, do what they want for a few days, and then grandma sends the kids back home.
I've never heard of that before.
Oh, I'm so doing it when we have grandkids.
You made it up just right now.
No, I did not. Come on, support me.
No,
You've heard of Nana Camp. Anyway, so I'm totally having Nana Camp. Have a Nana Camp if you're a grandma. Anyway.
Yeah.
So things like that, special projects, invite them into your life.
Gardening can be a special project.
Yeah, learning to garden.
All these kind of things.
Or having a garden, if you already know how.
Maybe you want to pick up, pickleball. Is not really a project.
They went and played pickleball yesterday.
But if you want to learn something, then, there's communities for that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And people are...
Yeah, whether it's a chore type special project or a learning type special project or something you just always wanted to do or get done or hike somewhere, fit that into your life. It'll enrich your life.
Yeah.
Okay, and so our third one is planned boredom.
You don't know. So we think we mentioned this in the past, maybe?
We have. So this is time without electronics. Like, okay, you can't do your electronics until this certain time of day, right? And so all my chores are done, all my responsibilities are done. What am I going to do now? And because they can't just immediately flick on a screen, they have to think of something to do, right?
And bring it to pass.
And because I don't know any kid who's just going to lay there.
When we started talking about this, I thought about 100 years ago. Of course, I wasn't alive back then. But
do tell what life was like.
I don't really know, but the things that I have in my head associated with 100 to 150 years ago is the kids going down the street with the stick and the hoop.
Oh yes,
it's like
Pollyanna type.
Who thought
games.
Of that?
Yeah.
It became fairly iconic to that generation.
Kick the can and the hoop thing.
They develop these things because of boredom, and it's such a great thing.
Which led to the development of gangs.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay. But the hooliganism can happen as well as this. What
was hooliganism about all that?
Well, just they were bored and got together and did dumb stuff, right?
Yeah.
But we're saying there can be benefits other than hooliganism, right?
Yeah.
We're saying they can read, I want to read a book. Or I'm going to go for a jog. Or I'm going to go teach the dog fetch. Or I'm going
to make a fort out of boxes.
There you go. Right? They're using their brains and they're coming up. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? And so we're saying if your kids are never bored,
then they'll never create something to get them out of the boredom.
Yeah, it's the difference between consuming versus being creative. Mm-hmm. Because when you're not bored when you're bored and have access to electronics, you are then consuming and entertained.
Well, and
whereas if you were bored and don't have access to that instant entertainment, you have to think of something, create a situation in your head, come up with an idea, and do something about that yourself.
Well,
right?
I still remember the good old days when I'd go down the hammock hollow and you just sit in the hammock.
See, and
sometimes I'd bring a book.
So
sometimes
reading, that's still consuming, but it was
just
reading is a whole lot better than watching TV.
Hearing the water go down the ditch.
It created a sense of peace for you and centering. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just reading. It was finding solace in your life and learning how to be still and peaceful. Kids don't know how to do that these days. There's so much anxiety, right? And so this planned time for boredom, for them to come up with something creative to do and fill their time is so essential.
Calvin Ball was, I'm sure,
from Calvin and Hobbes. Obviously, you know what generation we're from, where Calvin and Hobbes was just
our role model.
The role model, yeah,
not role model.
Very popular,
but yeah,
favorite comic strip of the time, right? And all the things that Calvin does, all the drawing and the and the spaceman spiff and the imagination that occurred because he was not just sitting in front of the TV or had a game console in his hands, right? Or a phone or a tablet.
Sapping his ingenuity.
Right. We need the creativity of the next generation, and it can't just be zombieism. You know, we need people who can speak to other people and communicate and not just stare at a screen all day.
And of course, one of the problems with this last one can and often will be parents. Because in order to prevent hooliganism, they take away the opportunity. And it's okay for them to be bored, and it's okay for you to not meet their every single individual whim. It's
entertain me.
Yeah. No. You entertain yourself. You'll be fine. And if you're not fine, then you'll develop something so that you can be fine, right?
Yeah.
Like
let them figure it out.
It'll require some patience.
Yeah.
To do that boredom thing, because a lot of parents do schedule things out the wazoo out the summertime. You got music this in the morning, and you got athletic things right here, and you got swimming lessons and whatever else, and then and then you're done with the day. And it's been so structured, and that's not bad necessarily, unless
it's just they never learn how to make choices.
Yeah.
And so we're not saying allow your kids to make bad choices. We're saying teach your children how to make good choices, and then allow them the opportunity to make choices so that they learn how to make choices and they learn from their mistakes. Like in Sandlot, the mom wants him to just make friends instead of hole up in his room doing nothing, like by himself. And she's like, go make friends, run around, get in trouble. What mom says, go get in trouble, right? Gives you permission to get in trouble. I mean, she's like, go be a kid, right?
Yep.
We're saying, let your kids be kids instead of screen zombies. So, anyway. So, our assignment for this week... Oh, come on. Is create a
summer schedule and develop a plan for following it.
Good reading backwards. Well done.
I'm talented.
I know. So figure out how to implement your schedule and your plan for your life so that it's not just, whatever. It's what you want to have happen is in line with your goals and who you are as a person and who you want your family to be as a family, right? And so you want that possibility. Be intentional about your summer is basically the assignment, and figure out how to make that possible. Okay, you guys have a great week.
Yep. Bye.
See ya.